Back to day 6 of the 12 days of JavaScript. So we're halfway through now. Well, once we complete this challenge, of course. And today we have a quite a good problem. So is palindrome, which you might have come across before. And if you're not aware, I'll explain it all. But as always, the Git repository below has the problem as well as the solution. So yeah, feel free and please do actually give this a go yourself before continuing on with the rest of the video. So you can kind of pause it here. Yeah, have a look at the problem statement, see how you code it, if you can get it. And then if not, or if you just want to see how I've done it, you can keep watching because we'll be going over it right now. So here we've got is palindrome. So as always, I've got an empty function where I'm just taking in one argument, which is an integer, and I'm just logging it out here. So I'm calling is palindrome and passing in 2 integers here. And you'll notice that we want to return true for this one and false for this one. And the reason is we just want to check if the integer or the number is a palindrome. And so what that is a palindrome is when a number or a string or anything really reads the same forward as it does backwards, vice versa. So obviously the example for strings would be like, I'm trying to think of one now. Is it Hannah, let's say? The name Hannah is the same forward as it is backwards. And here we can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So this would be a palindrome, so we'd want to return true. And then the one down here is 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. So that is not the same backwards as it is forwards, because backwards it would be 4, 2, 3, 2, 1, whereas this one forwards starts with a 1. So that's the difference. So we would return false in this case. So I guess one of the easiest ways, and probably the easiest way I solved this, rather than looping through or maybe creating a second number or even string, sort of going from back to front and then checking between the two, we can simply use some built-in methods to check, obviously, if it is the same forwards as it is backwards, and that's actually by changing it into a string. So in the last one, in the yesterday's challenge, we changed a string into an integer with the parse int. So now we're just going to kind of do a similar thing and pass this to a string. So what do we want to do? Let's first return, and we want to return x.toString, and if I just invoke that initially, let's just see what we're getting back. So you can see here we're still getting the number back. We're not changing anything about it, but we're now just changing it to a string here. So what we can do is we want to check if x2string is triple equals. So we're going to be checking obviously the type, that it's a string, as well as the value itself. So really we only need to check the value, but it's always good to do triple check in JavaScript, just because there are those two types where you might be checking this string against the number, and then that would still return true when you might not want it to. So anyway, so let's do x.toString again, but for the second one we want to reverse it, right? So we're checking this, but we want to check it against 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And vice versa. For this one, we want to check it against 4, 2, 3, 2, 1. And obviously we want to just return true for this and false for this. So this return statement is our logic for the sort of the Boolean, whether it's going to return true or false. So with this triple equals, we're checking this string over here against this one, but this one we can now tack on some other methods. So firstly, we actually want to split this, and we want to split it on the individual characters. So that's where I've added a string with no spaces in between. And now if I actually just return this as it is to begin with, we can see how that looks. So you can see now we've got an array of individual strings, and these are the numbers that were contained within here. And then what we want to do is .reverse. So that's another method in JavaScript that will reverse it. And now you can see here, and obviously it's clearer on the second one that it was reversed because 4 is now at the front. Whereas obviously to begin with it was at the end here of the array. And then all we want to do now is just join it back up. So we join it up again on the string with no spaces. And then if I run that, you can see here we're back to the original string, but the string has been reversed. So as I said, we then just want to do dot to string, and then that will be triple equals that. And now that's checking if x to string, which is this, is equal to this one up here. And then also vice versa. This one, is that equal to this one? And if it is, return true, else false. So let me just clear the console and run that again. And there we go. Oh, actually we're getting false and false, whereas we should be getting true for this one. So as you can see there, I didn't actually invoke toString, so we need to put brackets after any of the methods, as you can see, to invoke them. And there we go. Now we're getting true and false for each of these, if they are palindromes or not. So yeah, that was sort of my one-liner method of how to solve this coding challenge. Let me know in the comments below, or feel free to even just drop the code if you've got an alternative method. Really look forward to seeing those. And yeah, I hope that was useful to go through, and I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching.